إذا بغيت تعطي شوية الجاج صافي ذلك صافي ما عنديش.
Hey, here we are. So, welcome, BJ. It's an hour earlier for me, and I apologize to our folks who may be watching. Not right now, but if you join us, we've just gone live a little bit late today. Part of it is time zone changes around the world, and adjusting to that. But glad to have you here. How's your week going?
Very good. Spring break for us, so no volleyball other than my third, fourth, fifth, and sixth graders, which is always a blast. We have a great time, mostly playing in the gym, so it was a lot of fun.
How
Spend
many
time
of them
with
do
them.
you have? What?
I have about 40 total,
Oh, that's got to be
and
fun.
I get some help. Our guest from last week, Anna, helps with the older players, and I have a young assistant for the younger players. Somebody that's maybe just not even out of high school.
Okay.
But that's okay. I mean, we're mostly playing doubles and triples and, hitting the ball over the net. So there's not a lot of direction needed. So it's,
Right.
it's, it's good. Yeah, it's a fun bunch.
Super. Well, let's get right to our guest. Maybe you can do a little introduction and a little bit of idea about Omar's background.
Yeah, this is great.
Yeah,
This is a treat for me. This is Omar Akil. We met just almost right before the pandemic. I spent 2 weeks in Morocco with Omar and Eric Hodgson, who is in Morocco right now, as I understand, and and John Kessel. And Omar was I know we've told him this in the past. He saved these 2 weeks. It would have been an absolute disaster without Omar because John doesn't speak any Arabic, and Omar speaks excellent English. So everything, all the wisdom that John was able to hand out, Omar got to deliver to the classmates, which was it just made it an incredible 2 weeks, and we've been friends since ever since, and it's about time we had him on this show. So welcome, Omar.
thank you so much, BJ. First, I don't have a good English.
You say that all the time, but you fool us
No,
that way.
the truth, no. Okay, thank you so much. And also, Mr. Steve, thank you so much for this opportunity to be with you. It's a big pleasure for me.
The most interesting thing to me about the language in Morocco, and if people most people don't know much about Morocco. I had terrible misconceptions about what the country was until I got there. It's in many ways the cities are very modern and European, much more European in nature. I mean, it's an African country, but it's heavily influenced by Europe. And on the language side, I thought I would do some learning and see if I could learn some Arabic. In Morocco,
Yes,
most of Morocco speaks a mixture of French and Arabic, and it's not sometimes French and sometimes Arabic. It's intermixed in the same sentence, correct?
yes, correct. Yeah, as you said,
How,
we are very close to Europe. Yeah, between Morocco and Spain, 15 kilometers. And in the north of Morocco, we can find a lot of people speak Spanish fluently, no problem, besides French. This is why we are,
and if
like are living like European people here, even when we are in Africa, but our spirit like in Europe.
if you went to France, you could get along easily in France, correct?
Especially where we were colonized by French, and a lot of people speak French fluently, no problem.
It's a bit like the Swiss speak German and then have their own German dialect, which isn't German dialect. I actually, for the Swiss watching, I'm not saying Schweizerdeutsch is German. It's Swiss.
We do German in our country in very small percentage, not like English, like French, like Spanish, like small people who study in Germany and Morocco.
Gotcha.
So Omar, since you're the guest here, tell us how you got interested in volleyball, how you became a volleyball person, player, and then we can get into, after that, we'll get into what you're doing in coaching.
Okay. My story with volleyball started when I was young, like 14 years, 15 years. And my brother who started playing volleyball before me. And one day he invited me to one practice with his friends. And then I start to be like, attractive to volleyball. Step by step, I had one practice, the first practice with him. And then immediately I grew up with volleyball. I make one new story with him. But unfortunately, my brother stops playing volleyball. But me, I'm still now living with volleyball, not just playing or coaching volleyball. Even my wife, I meet her in the course of volleyball. Volleyball give me everything.
Did she play? Was she a volleyball player?
What? I didn't hear you.
Was your wife a volleyball player as well?
No, she was a journalist. I met her in what championship in Morocco for junior team. I remember 2007. She was journalist there, and I was there for like a organization and referee. And I meet her in the press conference, and we start our relationship. Then we are married, have one son. Where volleyball is all the time in our discussion, our topic all the time, daily, not just one time from time, daily.
When when we were in Morocco, your wife is who got us onto the radio, and
Yes, she's a journalist.
John was they were interviewing John, and the host of the show to me was absolutely incredible. He was speaking English, French, Italian, Arabic, all at the same time, holding court with it was, I think it was four people, no, five, right? Five people all
Yes.
speaking in various languages, and the host somehow kept that all together and could understand everybody. I just was amazed.
Yes, this is the good things in Moroccan. You can say press journalists that they can speak many languages, and they can understand you very well.
So you got started in volleyball. Where did it take you? Where have you, how did it progress?
In the beginning, in my life, yeah, I started with a coach of new young team, very young team, and my experience started to be well, especially in 2013 with national team when I participated in World Championship in Tokyo. It was the first experience in the high level, and then I discovered many things that attract me very well, and let me like to search to have a new experience with the new volleyball. You can say modern volleyball, especially when after World Championship, I thought to myself that this is a good opportunity to learn and a good opportunity to have access to a new volleyball. Why these countries are good more than us? Volleyball in Africa is not developed like in Europe or in USA and Brazil like this. In Africa, still volleyball is still modest, not like in Europe or America. That's why I told myself I have to learn more about this level, why they are like this, and why Africa is not developed like this in US, for example. And the first contact with me was with Marwan. Is the big friend of BJ and the others. Marwan, in the beginning, I remember the first question he told me, "You want to be a good coach?" I told him, "Yes, of course. That's why I contact you. But I need one answer about one question. How to be real in the practice? This is the first question for me. It was very tough for me to have the answer. How to be real? What is this? The question is very big for me. It told me that you have to be specific, and you have 2 days to answer me. 2 days for me, a lot of work, a lot of search. I was thinking, and then finally I called him, Marwan. I have a headache in my my. Please give me the answer. I need the answer. Immediately say no. You have to think more. I don't need question. I need answer from you. I came back I was like someone who's crazy speaking with himself. Have to be real in the game. Have to be real. How? Just you have to play volleyball. That's it. I called him, Marwan. I have to play volleyball. That's it. This is my answer. He told me, you are close, but you need more time to understand my question very well. And I start have courses with him. Even he in the USA, I am in Morocco, but all the time we are together by phone, WhatsApp, Skype, all the time. And I learned a lot of things with him, a lot of things with him. And when BJ and Eric and Kessel are come to Morocco, really it was very big occasion for me to learn a lot of things and to be very close to someone who believes in this, to someone who speak about science and volleyball all the time. And I was very lucky with them, really, very lucky, because I had many questions in my head, and I need answers. And you have three people, good people. They are friends, they are brothers, and they knows volleyball more than me. I was very lucky with them, really.
We were very fortunate as well to spend the time. I think you had the best seat in the house because you got to listen to John in English, and then you had to reinterpret or relay his message a second time. So you were in that position where you probably learned the most of anybody in the week because you got the lesson twice.
I learned 2 times, yes, 2 times in the same time, yeah.
Actually, maybe two and a half. The surgeon thing. See one, do one, teach one. You probably had to teach at least part of one there, so that's almost three.
Agree, yes, agree. That's why I told you I was very lucky, more than lucky, I think.
What just so that we know a little bit more about you, what's your What's your regular job? What do you do for work?
Yeah, I'm teacher of physical education and sport in high school. I study a lot of sport, not just volleyball, but with federation now. This year, I am responsible of the project of sport and study with Moroccan Volleyball Federation for youth players in order to have a good place for national team and have a good level. Just we have just volleyball. Uh, every day we have practice. At least we have 3 hours, and we do our best to have a good players in for the future for national team, especially for youth and junior team, national team. Especially this year we have African games and we have African championship, and they are both of them they are qualified for world championship, and we have a good chance to have a good team, inshallah, for the national team and also for African championship.
Who is good right now? Is it still Egypt and Tunisia, or is somebody else coming along too?
Yeah, there is a Cameroon. There is Cameroon also.
Come on.
Kenya for women team. For women team, we have Kenya and Cameroon for women team, and for men's we have Tunisia and Cameroon and Egypt. And there is Morocco in the fourth place. Algeria. We have strong countries in volleyball, but not like in
When
but not enough like US or Europe. We
when
need
when
we
we
need
were
more
there,
time.
we were talking a lot about our motto was beat Egypt. We're gonna beat Egypt. We talked about that a lot.
Yeah, yeah. This is the every time we have challenge, and like you have derby. I don't know in English what means. We have derby like between Arabic countries. We meet each other in African Championship, for example. Everyone, do his best to beat the others. This is sports, and for Arabic countries, is different. It's special.
Yes. Well, and that's one of the things I was gonna mention. In the US, when we come to do a clinic, you might show up 10 or 15 minutes before the clinic, and the instructors walk in and say hello, and then we start the clinic, and it gets rolling. In Morocco, after the first day, we found out that we need to be at the clinic at least 45 minutes or an hour beforehand, because we had 40 people in the clinic, right, Omar? About 40.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah. Yes,
every single person you must greet individually, hug, kiss on each cheek, find out how their family is. They find out how
yes,
your family is. And it's
yes, of
every
course.
single person. So you need that time to go around the room and to make that connection. It was incredible to me.
There's a
Yes,
lesson
yes.
in that.
Yeah, this is our tradition.
We'll get that back, I hope. So
Yeah,
we'll see. It might be a cell tower kind of thing.
could be. Yeah, we'll see.
Up there you are.
Oh,
Hello. Okay.
tell us again about your
Like,
tradition.
yes, yes. In our country, every time when we meet each other, you have to ask about your friends, about his family, about his wife, about his son. It's normal because we live each other like this. We are close to each other. That's why you need time to check everyone, to say hello, everybody. It's normal.
One of the big questions that many of the people in Morocco asked us, both Eric and John, and of me, was how do we build a culture like volleyball in the United States? And I said over and over, I think the culture of Morocco, that type of culture, would benefit them even more because we're so competitive with each other in the United States. I think I felt like everyone was working together in Morocco.
Could you please? I didn't hear you very well.
I felt like I felt like the culture in Morocco was much more helpful. Everyone wanted to share and be helpful with each other and help everyone get better.
Yeah, yeah. This is like like I said before. This is our culture. We love each other. We love to be close, and we love to help each other. This is normal in our daily life. We are like this, and especially with you. If someone is a strange come for our country, we it's obligation to be very good with him and to behave him in a good way and to ask him about everything what he need, what they love, what if they are living good or not, if they are needing something like this. It's normal for us. That's why all the time the people when we came to Morocco, you and Eric and Kessel, every people asking you if you need something, you special something special in Morocco. I don't know the food. You know Morocco is very famous by food, by tea, something like this. That's why all the time you are invited. You are invited. You and Eric and Kessel everywhere you go.
It was
You know,
yeah, it was a
hospitality
beautiful two
everywhere.
weeks.
Yes.
Yeah. What's what is the state of volleyball right now in Morocco? There are about Morocco has about 10% of the people that the United States has, or about 40 million people that live in Morocco. What's what's going on in Morocco volleyball right now?
Yeah. Just I want to describe the picture of Moroccan volleyball. You can say like volleyball is the third or the third sport in Morocco. Football is the first, and then second, and basketball, and you can say handball and volleyball the same, like the third and the fourth. It's famous, but it's not famous like football. You know, football is everything, especially in Africa, is everything. Like yesterday, like you read, you are putting read.
Yeah.
My team, Casablanca, with that Casablanca won African champion, won African game yesterday. Everybody talk about this game. It's normal because it's football. But volleyball, no. Some people, not a lot. That's why we need a lot of work for volleyball to grow up our picture in Morocco and give him a good image and can make a more and make a lot of sponsors like football. But if you can ask me about our volleyball, it's now, but to be honest, still very poor, not like football and everything. The way how practice, the way how we play, even the media is not the same like football or the other sports. The reason why the majority for coaches, the way how they learn volleyball for the players, or young or your senior team is the same. As I told you before, we were colonized by France, and still now we are working with French methods. Is not real. All the time, these methods are very far from the game. That's our problem. And now, like all the coaches, they are in comfort zone. To change the situation, we need time. We start the good things that we start. Some of them start to have a good practice, new practice, not like before. I do the same before. I did a lot of things. You know, I was the coach and I touched the balls more than the players.
Oh,
To be
yeah.
honest,
I think I just
yes,
laugh because, yeah, I've been there. Not anymore.
a lot of mistakes I did before. I was thinking that this is correct. I have to hit the balls for for working defense or make serve for reception passing, but you know I was touching the ball more than the players. And the day of the game, the players play, but I'm standing the bench. And I'm asking the players to make a good serve, to make a good hit, but in the practice, who make this is me, not the players. But I'm asking something I cannot find it in the practice. Now I changed my way, a lot of things. I didn't in my practice all the time. I am very far from the players. Like I'm watching the game, like I'm not coach. I let the players playing, and they have a lot of fun, not like before. I ask a lot of questions about them, about this practice and the difference between after and now. Big difference. Yeah, I have to be honest with you. In my center, I have taekwondo, and I have football, and I have judo, and I have volleyball. I have handball. I have a lot of sports. Each sport has a time for practice and also for study. When we make friendly games, a lot of athletes come to see the game and asking to be with us in the team, in the court. And the coach of football, very you team, women team, come to me and ask, please, my players, they are insisting to have one practice for volleyball if it is possible for you, coach. Immediately I answered, yes, of course. I asked him why. He told me that the players want to have fun like you in the game. What you had in the game and the practice, they want to have the same. That's why they need to have experience with volleyball. I had one practice the last week with them. You know, very the practice were very fantastic. A lot of fun with the players in their own teams. And when I finished, I told them that it's over. We need to finish this practice. They told me, please, more time, please, more time. Even they are playing football every day, every day. And the first contact with volleyball changed everything. And now they're starting to have, coach, we can have another practice with volleyball, please.
Yeah. Well, you know, it's interesting. My grandchildren, who are in the next room, they are starting to play football, and it most at their level, they're very young. Their coaches are parents, and God love the parents because they take the time to do it. And unfortunately, with my schedule, I don't have time to help. But I would totally change their practices because they in football they practice, the cones are out, the drills are out, and I would just have them play just like we do. You know, get them out there, maybe a smaller pitch, but the idea of just playing the game and making the connections on their own is what I think a lot of volleyball coaches that I respect do very well. And I think that could carry over to their experience. But we don't teach the parents how to teach the game. So they watch other coaches who have cones and dribbling drills and all of that. I just would have them play. But so maybe some of our techniques can help too.
Yeah, of course, I'm agree with you to learn the techniques is very important for volleyball, but not like the game. Big difference, and this is the problem in our country. They are all the coaches that they are focused in technique, not the game. They want to have a good technique, not reading the game, and this is what we have in the game. You have to read and move, and then you can use your technique. But without reading, technique is no there is no value. This is the big things that we have changed in the new coaches. This is the new concept, and this is based on science. It's clear. But the other coaches and the old coaches, all the time they are they have concentration about technique. When we ask, please put them in the game, put him with the net. No, we have to have a good technique first, and then they can move to the court. They spend a lot of time to learn one things. I have what miserable experience with when one coach for national team. We spent 15 days le- learning passing without setter. without hitting the ball, just serve and pass, serve and pass. Could you believe? 15 days. Very tough for me. I speak with him, but he's the coach who decide, not me. Because in the game, he believes that we have all the time we have to play in, have good passing. I told him we can play without passing. He told me, wow, yes, we can play. If it is good, it's good. But it's bad, we have a lot of solution. We have to update yourself and play the game. That's it. And in order to be good in passing, you have to play the players in the real situation, the real conditions. As you have to play volleyball, not with volleyball. This is the big problem here and the big challenge for us. All the time we like you have one side and the other side is very far for you. That's why I told you and I told my friends in US like Eric and BJ, we need time. That's it. We need time, but we have to have this is a new concept of how to use science in volleyball and to combine with science and volleyball. This is and to be efficient, to be realistic all the time, not playing with volleyball, to be in volleyball all the time.
I think one of the things that comes up in all this is science. We talk science a lot, and
Yes.
some coaches get caught up in that. Science changes as we learn, and so the things that I was told 20 years ago that you should do based on science, we learned some were true and a good number were not true. And sometimes you get the situation where science changes. We learn something and somebody says, see, science is wrong because it changed. Like, no, science is better because it always questions and what works. And when I'm on VCT looking at all the other coaches or talking with you, Omar, or anybody else, I'm trying to go, okay, what fundamental beliefs do I have that I need to question? And there are a lot of them. But
All of them.
Yeah. So it's one of those things where it's frustrating because you go, oh, I was wrong. But you go, hey, if I was wrong and I learned, and that happens with my athletes as well, that they got beat up the other day because they played the state champions from last year. And guys who have 5, 6, 7 years of experience, like, guys, you've been playing for 2 months. They're going to beat you. Just learn from them. And same thing with coaching. I run into coaches all the time who, there are so many coaches I learn from. I learn from actually every coach I deal with, no matter whether they're brand new or whether they've done it for their whole career.
Yes, I agree. Yes. You have to learn from anyone, his mistake or his positive things. You have to learn and you have you have to analyze everything you faced in your game. When especially in the practice, for example, I have done one practice, what I have to do to my players, something for example, before I know this concept, I was putting the players in front of the wall, like making serve or making passing to have a good platform or good technique. But we have the wall in the game. We have net. We have again, and we have the players in the other side. We don't have nothing, just open net like we did before. And for me, it was like, okay, it's okay now. You can move. And the game, there is no result. Even I put him many times. He touched the balls 100 or 200 times with the wall. But this is not the reality of the game. I was playing with volleyball in this time, but I'm asking a good result without putting the good things for my players. Good conditions. This is the I used to do many things many times, and the end I blame the players. Not I'm blaming myself. The players didn't do their job because they are not have concentration. They have something I don't know how, but me, I didn't blame myself. I made a good practice for them to have a good result in the game or not. I put my players in the reality of the game. I put my my haters in front of the block or open net like I did before, and I'm asking my haters to make points with block, but in the game and in the practice, I put him without block. This is not the reality of the game. I'm not efficient in my practice. That's why, as I told you, I was very far from the volleyball, but I was asking all the time about a good result. Sometimes we need to blame ourselves. Not all the players they are not have a good concentration or they are far from the game, but me who's far from the game, not the players. I have to put him in a good conditions and then I have to wait the results. That's it. And when I speak with Marwan about this, he told me, "You are in comfort zone. You have to be out of the box." It's especially when he spoke with me. I want two ties, two ties. You know, someone who won Moroccan championship and Moroccan cup, and you're gonna tell me that you have to change your way of practice. I told him no, my way. She made me won the Moroccan championship and Moroccan cup. It means I'm good. I don't need to try something else. Like I need to be in comfort zone. I cannot chance try something else or to be out of my books. That's it. I'm good with this. But even he told me that with this, you're gonna make African championship, for example. You can beat Egypt. I told him no. Immediately, I asked him, and also I asked the question about myself. With this, I can make a good result in Morocco, but outside Morocco, I cannot. I cannot be a good competitor with the Egypt or Tunisia or Cameroon or European country. It means I have something poor, not rich. That's why I put an like for stop for everything I did before, and I thought to myself, I have to change myself. I have to change my practice. I have to change everything. Even I will lose everything, but I need to change because with change I can have good things in the future. That's why I decided to have change, and immediately from this, with my discussion with Marwan, and also with BJ and Eric and Kessel when they came in Morocco, they helped me a lot to find out what I want exactly, and especially all the time Kessel asked me one question: How can make it better? How can make it better? This practice will make it better. I think yes. Okay, how can make it better tomorrow, and after tomorrow, and the next week, and the next year? It means you have to update yourself and you have to update your knowledge and you have to update your science, as you said, Mr. Steve. All the time to have be update. It means all the time you are out of the box, not inside. That's it.
That's a lot. You're asking. That's a big question to ask, and that's hard for a lot of people, especially when they've had success. That's how it was for me. The program that I took over was successful, and we were doing all the same things, and we could not improve because we were just copying what had been done in the past. And it took us some big changes in order to really take off and get better. Because we were just copying. I think that happens too much, where people don't spend the time to understand why something works. That's probably John is always asking, how can we make this better? My big question is, how do I know what we're doing is going to be good for us? How do I know this works? Uh, that's that's another one of those fundamental ideas. I
Yes.
hope people can prove me wrong.
I think there's another aspect to it, which is, I have a mentor who talks about the different levels of change. And they kind of start off with kind of, doing things right. And then, then trying new things and all of that, and it moves towards doing the impossible at the other end of the spectrum. And I think one of the things that can be fun is trying the experimentation of trying something radically different and seeing what happens. And,
Yes.
a lot of that's going to fail. But we're in the perfect sport to have an experiment fail because everything we do ends in failure, or for one of the team or the other. So we should be the easiest ones to innovate because we accept failure on every point. So I think it was great in this past week, even though our skill level and experience level is fairly low with my high school team, to see them changing, making decisions, switching blocking patterns on their own, to try to deal with the challenge of the very good team we were playing. Were we successful? Yes. We were not successful in winning, but we were successful in learning more about the game and learning what a stronger team will do with the ball versus a weaker team. So I think it's an opportunity not only to stop. Copying is fine. In fact, copying from other sports or other areas could be really good, but it's still different to us. It's copying other volleyball programs or doing the same thing we've done all along. That's not quite as helpful unless we've discovered something that works extremely well and keep using that. But even there, to quote Marwan, who I love, how can we make it better?
Yeah. In this meaning, I received many questions about this. Yeah, like Omar, you are believing in a new concept of US volleyball, and you believe that we have the same culture, that you have the same people, that you can succeed in the end. The US is different, like it's not like Morocco is different, and you cannot succeed. I told him like how how you can make a result without doing something. You you did this. You tried to no. You had many experience about this. He told no. This is for US, not for Morocco. Immediately, my answer: do and you can have the results. You have to do this many times, and then you can discover the results. Immediately, we will do the comparison between what you had before and what we will have after, and then you can decide. Not now. You don't have the right to decide without doing that nothing, because they are sitting in their table and they are listening to us. And you know, this is for USA, not Moroccan people. Moroccan coaches cannot do this, and we will have catastrophic result in the end of the practice of the game of the championship. Okay, I told them like this. Okay, what you are doing now, maybe you do it for 10 days, 10 years or 20 years. Okay, am I right? Yes. Okay. With this, you had the African Championship. You have African qualification for Olympic Games, something like this. No. Okay. And who give you the right that you have the good things or you have the good concept of coaching or of practice? How you can decide? How you can give me your judgment and this is the last judgment? No. I need experience. I need something which is you can do it like actions. We don't believe in words. We believe in actions. That's it. And with this, you can do. Not you can just listen to me. Then you can do it with your players, and you will discover the result. And believe me, you will have a good result, and you will come back to me, and you will ask me, please, can you give me more about this? More about this. It's happened with me with the coach of football game. He was like a guest. He was sitting with us. He's a coach of football, not volleyball. Immediately, when I start speaking with my friends about the new concept of volleyball in our country with the new coaches, he told me, please, this I will do it with football game. I told him, how? I will. He said, I will do it. And I'm sure that I will have a good result. I told him, this guy is very far from our volleyball. He's a football coach, and he believed in this in one moment, in one discussion, in one sit. And you, I spend a lot of time with you, but you are all the time you are resistant to my ideas, to my speech. Yes, he's blocked. He's not open mindset. He's blocked. He wanna be inside all the time, like in comfort zone, not trying something else.
Yeah.
In this situation, I thought to myself, I cannot oblige anyone to do this concept. I have to explain the difference between what I did before and what I do now and what I will do in the future. That's it. It's up to him to be with me or to be, I don't know, to be far with this. I don't know. But for me, I see the difference between what I was before but and now. Very big difference, believe me. Very big difference. And very happy about the results. I have a good players in outside of Morocco. They are playing in different tournaments in Europe or in Arabic countries. It's more for me. I'm happy about this and happy about the results what I have now. And even I need more work about this, inshallah, in the future.
Well, Omar, you obviously have a fan in Eunice. Uh, and thanks for being with
Yes,
us, Eunice.
it's working with me in the center, in the sport and study.
Nice,
Yes.
nice.
You know, this guy
That's
is very far from volleyball,
I
but
really
did
now
no.
he like assistant coach for me all the time with me. He's a big guy and very good
Nice.
guy.
that's excellent. What's next for you in volleyball, Omar? What are you doing in the sport?
Yeah, this year we have a lot of challenges. I will work with all national teams because I didn't tell you my experience with national team. From 2013, I was with national team until now. I work with youth and junior and under 23 and the senior team, men and women's. 4 times third place with women's and men's and junior team. I didn't go get the first place, but inshallah in the future we will arrive. This year we have a lot of challenges. We are playing for, we are participating in Islamic games and in also Mediterranean games for senior team, men and women's. And we have qualifications for, I don't know exactly, but for senior team for I think the second level of VNL for African games, African countries. We have a lot of challenges this year. And I have a next week. I have a big challenge that me and Eric will be together for some courses in Tanger, in the north of Morocco, and Meknes also and Rabat for volleyball coaches and also for teachers of physical education and sport about volleyball.
I
I
wish I
hope to
was
see you again.
there. I think you're gonna have a wonderful time with Eric. I think you guys will have a great experience.
Tell him I said
Believe me, till
hello.
now, okay, till now, every people that you are meet in Rabat or in Tanger and Tetuan, all the time they are asking about you and Eric and Kes all the time, all the time.
Please tell them hello from me. Tell everybody hello, and I miss them, and I hope we get the chance to see each other soon again.
Consider it done.
Steve,
Yeah,
we're sort of to the end here, and
yeah.
I need to get going. I know Omar needs to get going. So if you have any
Oh,
last,
great. I think it's great. It's the small world thing. I pinged Eric the other day saying, "Hey, we need to get together for a cup of coffee," and he said, "Well, I'm in Morocco," and I'm thinking, "Well, I'm talking to Omar in Morocco." So one, say hello to Eric for me, and tell him even though he's probably having plenty of tea now, we'll probably have some coffee when he gets back, and I'm looking forward to that. And Omar, it's been great. I've learned a lot from our discussion today, and I appreciate you sharing your journey and where you're headed. And the next time you see Marwan, because I probably won't see him for a while, tell him I just I enjoy his teaching style. I look forward to the next time we get to work together. And that'll be it, guys.
All right.
I'm gonna.
Assalamu
we will
alaikum,
share
ya Sadiq.
we will share the tea and the cake in Morocco together, you and Steve, and also Eric and Kessel, inshallah, next year,
Nice.
inshallah.
Nice.
You are welcome in our country, and I appreciate this meeting. Very wonderful, very exciting. I enjoy every moment with you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you as well for taking your time. Good luck in your practices and work today, BJ. I'll talk with you later in the week, or at least we'll text back and forth, and we'll see you next week.
Sounds good.